Today's pitching matchups featured a pair of all-stars, Mulder and Esteban Loaiza. Loaiza won 21 games a year ago, had not gone at quite such a pace thus far this year. But this afternoon, using that cut fastball, which became a stock and trade for him a year ago, kept the A's in control through the first 5 innings, while his mates were building up that 3-1 lead. And eventually, though, the home run was a big factor this afternoon. As we mentioned, that gave the White Sox a shot at winning the ball game when they got a rare 2 in a game off Mulder. By the same token, the home run has helped to undo some of Loaiza's better efforts this year. After the loss today, he's 8-5. And after the home run by Crosby, he has given up 19 in the year, already 2 more than he allowed in all of his 2004 campaign. And I might add, by the way, that Bobby Crosby's home run this afternoon means another $100 to be donated by the Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 342 to Camp Okaizu, a summer camp for cancer-stricken children and their families. And so far, donations from Local 342 this season now have reached a total of $11,700. As the game wound its way through the afternoon, we had a defensive highlight right at the very outset with 1 out and Jose Valentin at the plate. Levels the bat across the plate a couple of times. Now Mulder into the windup for the pitch. A swing and a fly ball looping in a shallow right field. Dye's going to have to come a long way. He dives, and he makes the catch. A straight-ahead dive by Jermaine Dye records the second out of the ball game on the second hitter of the game. Meantime, in the bottom of the first, the A's mounted with the help of Loaiza with a little bit of control problem, a threat that looked like they might get off in front first today with 1 out, a McLemore single, a walk to Chavez, and then a pause while Dye looked at a third strike and a walk to Hatterberg, where the sequence had set up a bases-loaded situation for Arubio Durazo, who has a couple of grand slams this year, but he grounded out to short, and the A's had to look at that with a little bit of frustration. Mulder gave up a walk to start the second inning, and Carlos Lee, who drew the walk, went to second on a wild pitch. Paul Canerco struck out, but Lee, in the process, stole third base. So now they had a 1-out situation with Joe Creedy at the plate. Now the next pitch. He comes down the line, bouncing ball to third, taken by Chavez. Throw to the plate, tagged by Miller. Out at the plate. Out at home. 5-2 on the fielder's choice. And you know, Ken, the way he came off the bag at third base down the line for an instant, I thought there might be a squeeze on.
He was well down the line, and then this might have been one of those where the plate umpire Hernandez, it was the ball beating the runner, because Carlos Lee, I think, beat the tag by Damian Miller. I think the A's got a break there.
Mulder, meantime, faced only 1 over the minimum until there were 2 out in the third inning. Nobody had a base hit, but Aaron Rowan solved that with a single to left field, and the veteran Valentin stood in.
Mulder out of the stretch, checks the runner at the belt, and here's the 2-1 delivery. It's swung on and hit the deep right center field. Kotze going back. He's going to watch, and it is gone. A deep shot to right center field, a 2-run home run by Jose Valentin, and the White Sox have taken a 2-0 lead.
Mark Kotze led off the bottom of the third with a double and went to third on an infield out, but that was with 2 out. McLemore couldn't get him over, grounding to short. Chavez got him over, but by that time there were 2 away. Jermaine Dye at the plate. Dye had been rung up on a strike 3 called in the first inning, as once again Loaiza was going with cutter after cutter against Jermaine, and he got 2 quick strikes on the A's right fielder.
And the 0-2 pitch. Dye hits it deep to left center field. Lee is going back, and it is off the top of the wall. It carries back. The carom is played by the center fielder Rowan. Scoring is Kotze into second with a booming double is Dye. The A's are on the board. It is 2-1 Chicago.
But Hatterberg could not get the tying run home, so the A's had to look at that deficit. As Mulder began to get things together, although he gave up a leadoff walk to Lee in the fourth inning, he threw a double play ball to the next hitter, Canerco, and was moving along, had retired other than Lee, had faced a minimum of 7 batters when the White Sox came up in the top of the 6th inning, and Aaron Rowan was the leadoff hitter, and Mulder quickly got in front. And the pitch. Swing and a drive. That's fielded to deep left center field. And that is in the bleachers, gone for a home run. An 0-2 pitch from Mulder and Rowan gives it a big ride to left center. His second homer in 2 days. His 11th of the year. Chicago 3 and the A's 1. Moeller looked slightly disgusted after that blow, and he took the bit in his mouth from there. He retired the next 10 men he faced before Dotel came in to get the final 2 outs in the 9th inning of the ballgame. But meantime, there was a matter of Loaiza, who was moving along very well going into the 6th inning. But Chavez reached in for a base hit up the middle, and Dye got another opportunity to help the cause. Loaiza sets and throws. Swung, there's a drive to left center field. That's in the alley, and that was right at the base of the wall. Coming around third is Chavez on the way to the plate. He'll score without a throw, and Dye has his second double in as many at-bats, and the A's are back within 1 at 3-2. Hatterberg executed well, hitting a ground ball to second base, allowing Dye to get to third with just 1 out, and Rubio Durazo with a chance to get a run home. The infield was drawn in, but he couldn't make contact. Some nasty stuff by Loaiza struck out Durazo, and so with 2 out, it was up to Bobby Crosby, or else the A's were still going to be a run down. And a couple of very good cutters had Crosby in the hole 0-2. Then one was outside enough that he laid off, and it was 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a drive ball to the center. Very deep to center. It's on the way. A leaping effort, and Rowan can't get it. It is gone. And the A's go in front on Bobby Crosby's home run. Number 12 for Bobby Crosby. Loaiza was ahead of him 1-2. Just to the right of the 388 mark, and Rowan gave it a great leap, and there was a moment where you wondered he might get it, but he didn't. And Loaiza went on through the 7th inning. The A's mounted a mild threat with 2 on and 2 out, but he struck out Dye this time. But for Loaiza, that was just 1 at bat too late. Meantime, as we mentioned, Mulder was going on through the order in very rapid-fire fashion. In the Athletics' 8th inning, with lefty Neil Kotz in the ballgame, Durazo doubled with 1 out to left field, and that brought the call to the bullpen for the veteran Mike Jackson. This time, Crosby was a strikeout victim swinging for strike 3, and with 2 out, Damian Miller fighting an 0-for-13 slump at the plate.
And the 1-1. Miller hits it up the middle, back a second, base hit, center field. Durazo around third to score, and the A's add on with a big run in the bottom of the 8th on a base hit to center by Damian Miller. It is now 5-3 Athletic.
And when the White Sox came up in the 9th inning, Octavio Dotel had been throwing in the A's pen. Mark Mulder came out to face the left-handed batting Valentin and retired him on a ground ball. With an array of right-hand batters due to follow, Ken Macher went to the mound, much to the dissatisfaction of the fans. Always that's a lot of the manager in a situation like this, but he wanted the power arm of Dotel, a right-hander, against the likes of Ordonez and Lee and Canerco and even Creedy if it got down to that point. Dotel came in and blew away Ordonez on a swinging strike 3, a 3-pitch strikeout. But Lee battled him to a full count and drew a walk, so Canerco stood in and at this point represented the tying run in the ball game, and he was the home run leader of this White Sox ball club. As Dotel got ahead, the fans waited for the final out. Now the 2-strike delivery. Struck him out. A slider a foot outside. Canerco goes on strikes. Dotel racks up the save. Saves Mulder's 13th victory of the year. The A's take 3 out of 4 from the White Sox. Final score, A's 5, White Sox 3. Well, the A's had some serious contributors today, but we're